motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
Yeah, we had it went really well. We knew they were going to have trouble, or we thought they were going to have trouble with our speed, and they like to keep 7 guys in the box. So we knew that was going to open up the passing game, and we were going to pass it until they split them out of there. And so that's basically kind of what we did, and then that kind of opened up the whole offense, run and pass once they got them out of there. But Zach Andrews had a really good night. Threw for a lot of yards, 5 touchdowns, I believe it was. Corey Smith had a really good night, 240-something yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Iverson Westbrook, had him a touchdown. Jordan Wells had a touchdown, and lots of long passes downfield, short passes that went, quite a ways as well. Jordan Young had a good night, no touchdowns, but I think 5 receptions and a little over 100 yards, I believe, or right around 100 yards, and very pleased overall. O-line did a great job protecting. Going into the game, we were worried about their D front. Their D front was pretty good. When you watch them on film, their defensive end is really hard to handle for people, and he was good last night too. And their Mike linebacker, good player as well, and he got a little banged up. He came on a stunt one time, and Adrian Lewis cut him, like he's supposed to do when he's coming in there. And I think he was kind of limping the rest of the game after that, and that slowed him down a little bit, which again kind of opened up more of the offense as well. So, but overall, very pleased with the offense. We were clicking on all cylinders, and it was fun. Going in, we feel like we have good game plans against slot T teams, and you got to have good kids too that buy in and are coachable and read their keys. You got to be disciplined when you play a slot T team, because all the fakes and everything, you're not really sure who has it. So but Coach Balch and the other defensive coaches, Coach Henderson, Coach Magri, Coach Webb, they put together another good game plan against them, against the slot T, and held them under 200 yards in today's game. If you can do that's pretty special. That's pretty dominant, really. And besides the first drive down the field, which we gave them poor field position anyway, we gave them good field position. Our kickoff team didn't do a good job on that first kickoff, and so they had a short field and drove down. And I really felt good about holding a field goal with that field position they had. We had to get used to the speed of it. We don't get that in practice, because our kids, slot T, what's that, So they're trying to run that slot T offense against our defense, and it doesn't look quite as pretty when we run it as when they run it. But get used to that speed a little bit. We have the right scheme. We had the right idea. Just get used to the speed of it, and we did, and did really well. We're very pleased. Dominant performance by the defense. Mm-hmm. Extremely happy about that, especially this early in the year. Definitely. I already have. I played it in this morning. First time we met and talked about Gatesville. Our overall record against Gatesville is 8-11 throughout the years. And, I coached at Gatesville a couple of years, and I really think Cameron kids underestimate them a little bit. When you watch them on film, they're just real solid and disciplined and fundamental. You don't see a whole lot of great big plays, like our kids are kind of used to having sometimes. And I think when our kids don't see that, sometimes they think, oh, well, they're not very good. They don't have, 60-yard touchdown catches or runs or whatever. And, I think that our kids underestimate them. They're very well coached. They play hard. Their kids play extremely hard. They're very physical, and they're not a team to take lightly by any means. Or you do that and you'll wind up in a close game and wind up getting beat. Last time we went over there, I can't remember, 05, 06, somewhere in that range. We went over there, and in my opinion, by far had a better team that year, but ended up getting beat in a close one, by 3 or 4 points. And we had a bad week of practice that week, and the kids they thought they were going to go in there and walk all over them, and that didn't happen. And so I told my kids that story this morning, and told them about it, and told them how those kids felt after that game, and how I felt as a coach after that game. And so hopefully it sinks in. We'll see. Bellville's a slot T, and so you pretty much know what you're going to get almost all the time. I mean, a few wrinkles here and there, but with Gatesville, that's not the case. They're multiple. You might have 1 back, 2 back. You never know. You might have 3 back. You'll have no back. You'll have empty. They're very multiple. And then 2 scrimmages in one game. They've been in 42 formations, and they're going to get you in different formations and they're going to run the same basic plays on you, but they're going to try and get you get angles on blocking you and make that play they're running a little better for them. And that's their plan. If we get in this set and we run this play, we like our blocking angles. We think we got something there, and which is very smart of them. They're very well coached. Very good up front, very physical on the O line and the D line, and we're gonna have to come prepared. And defensively, they're very similar to Bellville in that sense. They run a 4-3 defense. I don't think they're going to keep their outside backers in there as tight as Bellville did. Not on a regular occasion anyway. Maybe every once in a while, they're going to spread their outside linebackers, try and help in the passing game, and most likely, try to stop us with fewer guys in the box, which should open up the run game a little more. And we still have things we can do in the passing game as well. So, but much like Bellville in the sense of what they run a 4-3 defense. But against a spread team, it really turns into a 4-1 with two outside backers that kind of spread out. So that's what we expect to see. That's what they've shown on film this year and throughout past years. Their defensive front is pretty good. Number 90 for them, his name slipped my mind at the moment, but he's a very good defensive tackle. The other DT is, 90's a big physical kid. The other defensive tackle is more of a leaner, fast kid. Those two guys could cause problems. Inside linebacker is a very good player. He's a 4-year starter for him. Started as a freshman at linebacker for him. He's back. He's very hard-nosed, runs to the ball. Our O-line against their D-line is a key to our matchup. Also, they're going to give us different looks in the secondary and running our routes correctly. Quarterbacks reading that correctly. Things like that's going to be key in that sense. Knowing what coverage they're in. Those types of things. On the other side of the ball, I think the key is just getting lined up and play hard. Like I said, 42 different formations. You got to know how to line up correctly to all that stuff. So, and that causes you to spend more time in practice to make sure your kids know how to line up correctly. Getting lined up correctly and just playing hard is going to be the key for our defense this week. I think it's huge because those kids are the building blocks for your future. Last year's JV went 10-0. Last year's freshman only won 2 games though, if I remember correctly, 2-8. And so I was really excited and pleased that JV team, which those guys are sophomores now, went 2-8 last year. They got a win there, and I just think that kind of revives them and builds their confidence, things like that. So, but those that's the foundation. Your junior high, your freshman, your JV. And we want those guys running our offense and our defense and getting better at it. And we're pretty simple down there for the most part. I mean, they're running our stuff, but running our stuff, getting better at it, building their confidence that what we run defensively and offensively can work and they can win with that. And but most off, we're in Cameron and our kids play hard. I thought our kids played extremely hard. They got after it. They flew to the ball on defense. They're playing hard on offense, running their routes hard. Blocking hard, those types of things. And that's what I love about Cameron. The kids play hard. And when you do that, you play hard and you do what you're coached to do, you're going to be successful all the time.